The Better Business Bureau is warning basketball fans about a scam involving secondary ticket sales. Details ahead. 3 young men are dead after a crash in Nelson County. We're tracking the investigation into what caused the crash. And if you're planning on throwing away your Christmas tree after the holidays, we have an eco-friendly alternative.
This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon on this Monday. Sam, Dick, and Amber Philpott reporting. A warning for UK basketball fans looking to buy tickets.
The Better Business Bureau says they've seen an increase of counterfeit tickets. WKYT's Mike Byer has more on how not to get burned buying fake tickets in our top story at 4:30. Have a good night.
Thank you so much.
With Kentucky's rivalry game against Louisville approaching on Saturday at Rupp Arena, the Lexington Better Business Bureau is warning fans to use caution when purchasing tickets through secondary markets.
Use sources you can trust, like directly from venues such as Ticketmaster or the schools if there are any left.
Only tickets purchased directly from the UK ticket office, Rupp Arena box office, Ticketmaster, Ticket Exchange, or through UK FastPass are guaranteed to be valid. The BBB says tickets purchased through any other sources may not be authentic, keeping some fans from walking through these turnstiles and ultimately missing out on this. If it comes down to having to use a secondary market, the BBB recommends using sites like StubHub because of their policies.
Some of them do have fan guarantee policies, Fan Protect, where you do get your money back if the tickets don't arrive on time or if they turn out to be no good.
The BBB says we should also be on the lookout for warning signs like
if they appear to be at a too good to be low price, if somebody doesn't want to meet you in person to get them to you.
When it comes down to buying tickets, the BBB says we need to use common sense because it could be the difference of staying at home or going to the big game. In Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
And the Better Business Bureau says if you come across any scams, to let them know so that they can then warn others about it. A weekend crash killed 3 childhood friends. It happened yesterday on Louisville Road north of Bardstown in Nelson County. Police say 24-year-old Jordan Hickman's car crossed the center line and hit a pickup head-on. Hickman and his 2 passengers, 25-year-old Tyler Foster and 24-year-old Keaton Hall, were all killed. Hall graduated from UK a year ago. The driver of the pickup, 20-year-old Brian Waldridge, was taken to University of Louisville Hospital in serious condition.
Police have found the body of a missing northern Kentucky man. Chad Smith's family says he left his home in Fort Thomas last Monday with no coat, no wallet, phone, or car. His body was found Saturday night by the Ohio River near Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. Police believe a woman took Smith in, fed him, and gave him clothes earlier in the week. They have not yet released how the father of 3 passed away. Rain's moving back into the forecast, and it looks like it's going to stick around through our Christmas.
Sounds like it. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Hi, Chris.
Hi, guys. No white this year, but we've got 2 other W's coming our way. Wet and warm. Record warmth a possibility on any given day between now and this point next week. And between now and then, we've got a lot of waves of rain on the way, too. That's what we're focusing on right now because that's what we've pretty much been seeing all day long. Flows coming up from the south ahead of a slow-moving cold front. That front is likely to never really clear the area, and then we're going to see additional systems coming up later this week. Defender up close and personal across central and eastern Kentucky. A lot of gusty rains that are showing up. Nothing that is overly heavy. It's kind of giving the appearance that it is heavier than it is because of all the mist and the low clouds and the fog that's out there. But now you notice into Adair County here around Columbia and to the north toward Campbellsville, Taylor County. That's going to continue to increase. I think we see a lot heavier rains developing as the evening wears on. Even a rumble of thunder is a possibility. Focus of the forecast is on a lot of rain that is on the way over the next several days. And the temperatures, guys, keep going up, 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 and maybe away as we go into Christmas weekend.
All right, Chris, thank you. We are in the season of giving and getting, and many of us have too much stuff as it is. Think about this, though. Would you be able to give it all up and live in a 160-square-foot home? Well, tonight, we take you inside a Central Kentucky couple's tiny house in a story that I'm working on for you tonight at 6. Allie and Jeremy Barnett recently bought a farm in Bourbon County. Allie has a love of horses and hopes to use the animals to help others through a new ministry she started. And to focus on her nonprofit, the married couple of 5 years sold most all of their belongings and decided to join a growing new trend called tiny house living.
I think for us it's been good to practice really asking ourselves what is a need and what is just a want.
Coming up tonight at 6, I take you inside their tiny house. It is a tight space, but this couple is living comfortably with only what they need in order to give back and make a difference through their nonprofits.
I'm fascinated that they're doing this and surviving. But so if someone is interested in finding or buying one of these tiny houses, where do you do that? How do you do that?
It really is becoming trendy. So the Barnetts actually searched all across the country. They found a builder out west, and they had theirs specially built for them and brought here. Tiny houses range anywhere from about $30,000 to $80,000. It is an investment, but what they're saving in their utilities is really important to them, because not only do they want to use that money to put towards their nonprofit, it's really important to them to not leave a huge impact on our environment as well. So it is quite interesting. We're going to go inside. We're going to show you around coming up tonight at 6.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Amber. An eastern Kentucky lake has been closed for repairs. The State Department of Fish and Wildlife says the Burt T. Combs Lake in Clay County is having repairs made to its dam. Contractors may have to lower the lake when they do the work. Barring any weather delays, the lake is expected to reopen by May.
The Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife is hoping you'll hand over your Christmas trees to them instead of trashing them. They're collecting the trees through January. The trees will be used to make fish habitats in various lakes across the Commonwealth. The trees must be natural, and of course you'll need to remove all of the ornaments and lights before you drop them off. There are nearly 30 drop-off locations, and you can find the list on WKYT.com. One of the most powerful men in sports has been banned from the game of soccer. Sepp Blatter, longtime president of soccer's world organization, was found guilty of an ethics violation.
And so was the official who was once expected to replace him. They are both sidelined for 8 years. Mark Phillips has the latest moves in a wide-ranging corruption scandal.
This was a judgment by the Ethics Committee of World Soccer. It's not a criminal conviction for corruption, not yet, but the result is effectively the same. Sepp Blatter, president of FIFA, soccer's governing body, for 17 years and a power in the sport for 40. He's been banned for 8 years and fined about $50,000 for conflict of interest and breach of loyalty. The bandage on his face may be connected to a recent health scare. The issue? A $2 million payment to this man, Michel Platini, head of European soccer. The two men say the money was a delayed payment for work. The Ethics Committee saw it differently. Platini was also banned and fined. Blatter, who says he'll appeal, was typically defiant.
I'm sorry that...
But not sorry for what he'd done. More sorry for himself and for the sport.
But I'm sorry that I am, as president of FIFA, this punching ball. And I'm sorry for football.
Things could get worse for Sepp Blatter and many others following the FBI-triggered arrests of a number of FIFA officials in Switzerland last May and criminal investigations launched by Swiss authorities as well. Sepp Blatter was forced to promise to resign and has called new elections for FIFA president for February. With each turn, this endless saga about the beautiful game becomes uglier and uglier. Mark Phillips, CBS News, London.
And now that the children are home for Christmas break, it can be a full-time job trying to keep them busy.
Our Deanne Stevens is out and about with some cool snack ideas. Hi, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are trying to keep the kiddos busy. It is Christmas break week, and we have found some fabulous teachers that put together this Christmas party every year. It's pretty cool. All the kids bring toys for others to share with others, but then they do Christmas crafts and Christmas goodies. Are you ready to put some reindeer food together here, Jackson?
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. Okay, Kelly, This is so much fun for the kids and simple things. You said, Dee, just always keep it simple.
Simple, definitely. So all we did was we got some oats, some crushed up peppermint, some sprinkles, and some crystal sugar. We just mix it all together, and the kids just dump in what they want, and it just keeps the reindeer from getting hungry throughout the night on Christmas Eve. So the kids love it.
So are you all going to spread this out on Christmas Eve? Come on, Jackson, let's make some. What are we going to do, Hallie? Are we going to spread this out on Christmas Eve? Yeah, who eats all this?
The reindeer.
The reindeer. Okay, we're going to come back to that because there's all kinds of treats. You come with me. We'll be back. All right, all kinds of treats and crafts that we showed you just a little bit ago for the kiddos. Jackson's helping me. Christmas cookies, putting together. Ooh, that looks yummy. Tell me about that. Is that your gingerbread man? Mm-hmm. Does it taste good? Not so much? I think that light is making her nervous, showing the good job they're doing with the Christmas cookies. So Christmas cookies, you can do some decorating. And Dale is the mastermind behind all of these fabulous treats over here. Everybody come look at the treats. We got special treats over here. Dale, you got to tell me about the treat table, what you put together here. Look at these little guys.
Got just little cupcakes with a little candy cane in it, just really easy. They're supposed to look like a cup of hot cocoa. We got some healthy snacks here, some yogurt and fruit that they get to make their own, and some little waffles with syrup. And then these are just little Oreos dipped in white chocolate, just little with a stick.
And you said the best thing of all is to go to Pinterest.
Yes, yes. Anything that you want to find is on Pinterest. So.
Gives you some great ideas. Hey guys, so we've got treats for the reindeer, and we've got treats for you. What kind of treats do we leave for Santa Claus?
Cookies and milk.
Cookies and milk? Does Santa like cookies and milk?
Yeah, he loves it.
Santa heard the word treats and he came to check it out. Have a very Merry Christmas week. Ho, 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 Santa. You looking for your treats?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we got plenty for you, don't we, guys? Yeah, they said they got to get busy on making those Christmas cookies.
All right, I'll be looking forward to those cookies.
A big Merry Christmas. Everybody say Merry Christmas. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Merry Christmas and have a great week.
Ho, ho, ho!
Notice Santa went straight for the snack table.
I don't
He
blame
went
him.
right for
Those
it.
cupcakes look really good.
Well, there was some drama at this year's Miss Universe pageant. Host Steve Harvey crowned the wrong winner.
I have to apologize. The first runner-up.
After several minutes of celebrating by Miss Columbia, Harvey returned to the stage to correct his mistake. The real winner was Miss Philippines, with that dazed look on her face. Harvey says that no one feels worse than he does about his mistake.
Home for the two countries. I feel horrible for the fans. It was a mistake. It was just an honest mistake.
I looked back, and then the girls behind me were saying, go in front, like that. So that's when I walked to the front of the stage, and I was just waiting for my crowning moment.
Harvey also tweeted an apology for his mistake. As you can probably imagine, Steve Harvey is trending on Twitter with more than 640,000 tweets about what happened. Feel bad for everyone really involved.
Absolutely.
Mark Ruffalo is dreaming of an upstate Christmas, and Star Wars shatters the box office records.
Wendy Gillette has your eye on entertainment.
It's official. Star Wars: The Force Awakens had the biggest opening weekend of any film in history. The 7th chapter of the Star Wars saga took in $238 million in ticket sales, topping the previous record holder, this summer's Jurassic World. The Force Awakens broke records long before it opened Friday, thanks to its $100 million in pre-sales.
I ain't too anxious to be handing out rides.
Jennifer Jason Leigh plays a fugitive accused of murder who's caught by a bounty hunter, played by Kurt Russell in the new Quentin Tarantino Western, The Hateful Eight. The role has already earned her a Golden Globe nomination. Both stars say their characters' relationship is worth more than one viewing.
As much fun as it is to see the first time and get all the stuff, I gotta tell you, I say this without reservation, it's more fun to watch 2, 3, and 4 the fourth time. You just sit back and start watching.
Because now you know, and then
because once you know, it's better.
Yeah.
The Hateful Eight opens Christmas Day.
And they prove everything about the church, about the bishops, about law.
Speaking of Christmas, Spotlight star Mark Ruffalo says he's looking forward to a few days away from the bright lights and big cities.
I'm going to hang out with my family in upstate New York and do nothing but cook and love them.
Spotlight is in theaters now. And that's your Eye on Entertainment. Wendy Gillette for CBS News.
Sam was talking about all this weather hurting, winter weather gear, but maybe raincoats are going to go up in stock.
Positive, half glass full way of looking at Amber Philpott. I like that. What do you think, Chris? It'll help some other businesses that like the warmer weather.
Without question. I can see Amber right now opening up a little umbrella stand somewhere out here at Hamburger over by the mall right now. Supplementing that income. We are dealing with a lot of wet weather here across the region. Goes without saying now. Those temperatures are into the 50s into much of central and eastern Kentucky. And what you see now, way above normal, but will also be the coolest day of the next week. How absurd is that, Christmas and white Christmas fans? Defender Radar Network rain out there coming at us in waves, and that's going to continue to kind of pick up the pace a little bit as the evening wears on. We may catch a little bit of a break as we go into late tomorrow, allowing temperatures to likely head toward record high levels. That's a sign of things to come. That windy, wet, and warm Christmas week forecast in greater detail a little later on, guys.
Chris, thank you. A special candy bar and a teen finds himself in a tight spot. It's the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
I have eaten my share of these. Kit Kats have been around for a long time, but chances are you've never seen one like this before. Nestle Japan just unveiled a gold Kit Kat bar to lure holiday shoppers in Tokyo. The single-finger candy bar is wrapped with an extreme thin layer of gold. It's also handcrafted by a local artisan. Nestle is only selling a limited amount of the new candy with a price that's equivalent to $16 US.
A 13-year-old boy has a new respect for Santa's job. The Oklahoma teen climbed down his chimney but couldn't climb back out. The teen's father called 911. Firefighters found the boy standing on a firebox about 4 feet off the ground. He couldn't climb out because the walls were so slick, so rescuers rigged up a rope on a ladder and lowered a harness down to the teen. The teen wasn't injured and the home was not damaged during that rescue. Whoops.
I can't imagine.
Not a good
stuck
idea.
In a chimney. And
Don't try that at home,
not
kids.
Good. All right. Much more to come now on WKYT. Stay with us at 5 o'clock.